Hi, Kirsten Johnson, super nervous. This is the video that I wish someone who cared about me, my parents, or my pediatrician saw when I was 12 years old. So this message, this video is kind of like a PSA for all the parents out there, and share it with other parents that you know, or with pediatricians, especially with pediatricians. Because to back up, 1 in 4 girls are sexually abused by the time they are 18, and 1 in 6 boys is sexually abused by the time he is 18. So if it's not one of your own children, it's one of their friends, and it's very common. It's a lot more common than we know about, and it's not really talked about. And the language that's used around it, it doesn't translate so well. So what happened, my story for me, this is why I'm nervous. So when I was 12, my pediatrician asked me if I had been sexually abused. I didn't relate to those words, so those are not the right words that I would recommend using with a child. What happened is I had the shingles. And so he saw that I had the shingles and he said that normally only people who are under a tremendous amount of stress get something like the shingles. And so he asked my mom to leave the room, and then he asked me if I had been sexually abused, my pediatrician. And I told him no, and I laughed because I didn't relate to those words. Now, had my doctor, so this is where this is why I want you to share this with the pediatricians. Had my pediatrician said to me, are you having trouble sleeping? Do you have nightmares? Are you violent in your nightmares? Is anybody touching you without your permission? Do you feel like maybe they wouldn't be doing it because they're a trusted adult that is around the house? Are you terrified constantly that it's gonna happen again? Are you having nightmares, having trouble sleeping? Are you afraid being alone with this person? So had my pediatrician used language like that with me, I probably would have broken down and started crying. And then I would imagine that at that point forward, I would have been able to get help. I would have been able to get some emotional help, right? Because I was totally traumatized. But I didn't. The abuse kept going on for about another year until I finally ran away from the person. And was able to find my voice. So this is so important to look at the language that we're using with the kids, because it's a lot of kids are currently going through this. It's 1 in 4 girls is currently being sexually abused in America. So this is very, very common. And so notice if your child, or if a child that you know is suddenly really angry or suddenly really anxious, and what's going on, who's around them. Start using the more gentle language with them to find out what's going on. Open the communication with them. If they start feeling comfortable to tell you the truth of what's actually going on, why they're not sleeping, why they're freaking out, why they're having all this rage at such a young age, maybe they can start getting help. They could start doing mindfulness. They could start learning about emotions and managing emotions. They can get out of harm's way. So, and so basically what happened to me is, after I finally got away from the predator, then it became different. Then I became very withdrawn from life. So that was around 12 or 13 years old. I became very withdrawn. It was no longer happening, so I didn't have the fear of it happening again. But I had this, I checked out a bit of my world. I stopped hanging out with my friends. I stopped socializing. I was incredibly socially awkward for the first 2 years of high school. And then, oh God, it's just so sad, because I know this is happening to people that we know and we love, and they don't have the words, and they're feeling alone, and they have no one to talk to about this. So we need to keep an eye out for the young ones that we love in our life, and spread the message about getting people the help they need at that age. So when I was 16, the incredible, tremendous socially awkward shyness and the withdrawnness that was a result of the abuse stopped, because I found alcohol. No, I don't know why alcoholics are alcoholics, but I know that not feeling my feelings was really, really good for me at that time. Alcohol absolutely saved my life when I was 16, and I finally drank and didn't have to have access to that emotional pain that I didn't know how to process at such a young age, because my trauma was completely unaddressed. And then that, of course, spins into alcoholism and anxiety disorders. And really one of my concerns is right now is that we're giving people with unaddressed sexual trauma anxiety meds for anxiety, but we're not actually looking at what's actually underneath, what's the root of that, what's the cause of that. And so I think it's so important to get the message out to parents, to pediatricians, because you might be a parent who's watching this right now, but what about the parents who aren't? So that's why I think it's important to send this video to the pediatricians, so that if someone like me, because I can only imagine what my life would have turned out like if my pediatrician had known the right language to use with me when I walked into his office that day with a stress condition, you know, and if he had said that, like, has someone been touching you, even if you think that they wouldn't be doing it because of who they are. So, so my call to action for the parents is to spread this message, to work on that relationship with your children. It's not strangers. Like, this is happening in our own homes. It's happening with people that we know. Most of the time it's people that we do know. I think it's 1 in every 8 minutes an American is sexually assaulted, and every 98 seconds an American is sexually assaulted, and every 8 minutes it's a child. So it's happening all the time. It's going to happen during the time that I'm making this video. So my other thing that I want to invite you to is if you have had sexual trauma in your past, and especially if it's never been addressed, I created a Facebook group. It's a secret group, so I don't know if you can click the link below the video to actually get in there and join. You can just send me a message on Facebook too. I put my email address below the video. Would love to have you in the group. It's free. It's to spread the message of healing and tools, and to rise up together and empower each other to a healing. Because if we don't look at the original trauma, we're not able to heal from it. It's like hidden underneath the layers. So we have like this branch over here is drinking, this branch over here is anxiety, but what's the root cause of it? If we want to get the real deep healing, we need to go into the root. We need to hear, we need to be heard, we need to tell our story to somebody, a trusted individual, a friend, a coach, a therapist, somebody. And so that's why I'm calling this mission the elephant herd. Our elephant needs to be heard if we're going to heal. You know, just walking around the world with an elephant over our heart leaves us like numbed out to life, blocked from fear of intimacy and relationships and so many different psychological issues. But really, we have this elephant over our heart. So that's my mission. That's one of the really big things on my heart right now, is spreading this message, the elephant herd, spreading the message of radical healing from the effects of untreated childhood sexual abuse. Because just because we act like it didn't happen doesn't mean that we're not walking around suffering from the consequences of having this trauma not looked at. So, that's it. So join the Facebook groups, share this with any parents that you know, so they can help get the right language for their kids, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Oh, also you can come over for more information about my mission, richerexperiences.com/theelephantherd, HEARD, like hearing the stories. All right, bye.